What's up? I'm Spencer from Underoath, and you're watching Bring the Noise. Yeah, I think Hit the Decks, it was its first year, and we headlined it not yesterday but the day before. And it's been the best show of the tour so far. It was a lot of fun. I thought it was put together well. I think they have room. I think they can make it bigger next year. If they had it again and they asked us, we'd do it again. We had a great experience. The crowd was good. They were a little worn out. It was a little long. You know, like it started at like 10 in the morning or something. But I think if they maybe had two big rooms as opposed to just the one and then the smaller rooms, it could be super successful. Like, 'cause we walked over the small room to see Comeback Kid, and they, you know, after it's full, they close it off, and there was still a line outside. So if they would have had maybe two of the big stages, or put bands like Comeback Kid should have been on the main stage, probably, in my opinion. But the fest was awesome. The reception of the new album is great. Kids seem to be singing that just as much, if not more, than a lot of the older songs. So that's always a good feeling for us, because it's our new record. We feel like it's our best record, you know, so we want to play those songs more, obviously. I think we'll always be progressing. I think that's kind of the point. If you put out the same record twice, it's kind of over, in my opinion. If you're an artistic band, if you're a pop band, then that's fine, but we're obviously not. So, yeah, I feel like we're very happy with where we are. You know, we're more proud of this record than anything we've ever done, but I know the next record will be even better. Just like the record after that will be even better. I feel like if every record you release isn't your best record you've ever done, then you did something wrong. You should delete it and do it again. Like, you know, that's the point. Whether it's your genre or not, or your style. Like, They're Only Chasing Safety was here. Then we wrote Define the Green Line, which is a way better record. Then we wrote Lost in the Sound of Separation, which is a way better record. Then we wrote Disambiguation, which is a way better record. Whether you know, as a listener, it could not be your style choice or not, which is fine. But as a musician and a songwriter and an artist, you've got to realize that it's a better band. The dynamic of the band finally works. I love Aaron. He's still my friend. But it didn't work. It never did. It was always uncomfortable. Everyone never really got along, and there was a lot of stress, and people wanted different things for, in my opinion, the wrong reasons. And now that he's gone, we have 6 people that see eye to eye, want the same things, and it makes it way easier and way more fun. Not really. I knew we were going to write a better record without him. You know, something we've been kind of trying to do for a while. And, you know, no offense to his singing or drumming, he's great at both. But with what we wanted to do for the last couple of years, it didn't work, you know? And I feel like, you know, we make great records together, but I feel like we make better records without him, and he makes better records without us. I mean, you go listen to what he's doing now and listen to what we're doing now. You can see what the problem was, you know, and it's a tough thing to do with a friend. You know, I'd rather be his friend than be in a band with him and hate him, because we, you know, want totally different things, you know. So, was I worried? Not really at all. I mean, I thought some kids would be, you know, people make themselves out to be a bigger deal than they are. And that's one thing I hate about music. It's one thing that the 5 of us said we'd never do, is try to be a star or an entity, or like make yourself out to be more important. You know, it's like those kids, there's not one kid knows how much he had to do with writing of any of our records. The only people that will ever know is us. And I think kids thought he was a bigger deal than he was. It's like, he wasn't. He was an equal member. pulling his equal weight just like everyone else was. So you get a drummer that's just as good, if not better. It's going to be the same thing, if not better. And then we're going to be a better band because it's been 2 years, and we're going to make sure it's a better band. I think it's funny because if you count Underoath as a high school band, when there's 2 EPs that you cannot get. One of those EPs does not have Chris on it, and the other one does. But that first one was like 1998. People were like 14, 15 years old in the band. Obviously not playing shows. You know, it wasn't like... To call Chris a non-founding member, to me, is like spitting in his face. And then Tim coming on, you know, Changing of Times, is when I don't even consider Underoath a band until Changing of Times. Once they started like touring and playing shows. And most people haven't even heard us until they're only Chasing Safety. So I just think it's a way for people to talk crap online, which is fine. People are going to talk crap online. But I think it's really disrespectful to Chris, because if he's been doing this for over a decade and you can look him in the face and tell him he's not a founding member, then you're just an asshole, in my opinion. The high point? I mean, I think it changes with everything. I mean, I could name a million things. I remember the first time kids sang along to a song. I remember joining the band and then writing They're Only Chasing Safety and not really being too happy with that record and still playing in front of nobody anywhere. And then we did a Warped Tour and started to pick up a little bit. I remember we played an off show, a headlining show, and we've been talking about it the whole time, because I think the Used and Story of the Year were on Warped Tour that year. And it's like, man, if it just 5 kids would sing along, you know, just to hear that back would be so insane. And I remember the first show, kids sang along to Underoath songs. And but then I remember the first time being happy with the record that we made, and that was To Find the Great Line. And then I remember some of my most proudest moments were with the new record. And I remember a pinnacle moment being the first time we really did a world tour was on the last record, playing places that I've never seen or never thought I would ever go to, like Africa and Central and South America and Alaska, and you know. So I feel like it's just always happening for me. It's always like I'm always blown away and always very thankful of the opportunities I've been given, and I think I don't take any of them for granted. I know that at a drop of a dime, the cool kid in every town can say we're not cool, and then everyone hates us, you know? That's how music goes. But I'm just happy that I've had an opportunity to, you know, put music out for people to hear, you know? It's crazy enough as it is, so. I was homeless for 3 years, 2 or 3 years, sleeping on people's couches. My family wouldn't really talk to me at first, you know, because they thought, you know, I should be going to college, I guess, for you guys, university or whatever. And then it's hard to keep a girlfriend when you're gone all the time. It's hard to keep friends, you know, like even your best friend, you come home and you're on the outside of the inside jokes. You know, you weren't around last week for that barbecue. You weren't there for, hey, remember that time when everyone's sitting at the bar, the pub, whatever, and talking about, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's like you come home and, you know, you're alone on the road and you're alone at home. So that can be tough, but you make the best out of it. I've got great friends at home. I got a great girlfriend. My family's really supportive now and awesome. And, you know, you meet people on the tour and you hang out with them and, you know, you try to enjoy life as much as possible. But, yeah, you can let it destroy you. It's not, I've seen a million people go. Seen every band lose members left and right, all over the place. People can't handle it, but you can learn to figure it out. I think we might have kind of made a mistake by calling ourselves that in some ways. Let's see how I can say this. our hearts are in the same place as they always have been. But it really hit me when someone asked, I must have been at a Christian festival, and I was doing an interview with someone else that was in a Christian band, and they asked him why he did what he did, and he said, I do what I do to share people the love of God. And I just happen to be a musician, so that's my tool. And I kind of looked at him like, someone asked me, why do I do what I do? And I said, I love music. I fell in love with music. I didn't do this for any other reason but to write and share music. I wanted to feel the way Pink Floyd made me feel, or Led Zeppelin made me feel, or Nirvana made me feel like when I was a kid. I want to supply that for somebody else. And if someone asks me what I believe in, I'll talk to them all day long about it, because I'm not unhonest about it. But I did not pick up a guitar in first grade because I wanted to share God with people. I wanted to share music with people. And I played guitar my entire life, and piano, and learned how to sing because I loved music. Music drove me to do what I do now, and it still does. So it's a tough thing to say, and I feel like we've been the spawn of a lot of bands that say it the same reasons we did, because we're all Christians, and we'll talk about it and we'll share it with people, and we think it's a good thing to have in your life. But I don't tell you to do that. It's not my job to tell you to believe in this because I believe in this. Like, if there is a God, He's the only person that should be telling anyone to do anything, not me. So I feel like we've created a lot of problems, so to speak. I mean, we helped a lot of people out, but we would always be honest. In every interview, we still talk about it. But if someone were to ask me if we were a Christian band, I'd say no. A Christian band is Michael W. Smith writing songs about Jesus, playing to glorify God. We write songs because we love music, and we play shows because we love to play. And then if people want to know about us, we'll tell you about us. So I think there's a big difference, and we kind of maybe got it wrong for a little while there. And it's kind of scary, to be honest with you. I hope, if there's a God, we didn't piss Him off too much by not really doing what we were supposed to do. But I feel like every dude in this band still has a great heart and feels the same way. I just feel like that's a scary term to be thrown around. And I see all these bands, a lot of bands do it and throw it around. And yeah, I'm at the pub drinking too, but I see all them there too. And I'm like, we're not necessarily the best examples we could be. And that's not me being lazy. That's been my entire life. I drank a beer before I ever went to church once, it's, to me, it's not a big deal, but I'm not the one judging people, and I shouldn't be, and neither should you, and neither should anyone else. And if you're comfortable with your life and you're doing your thing, then do it. And if you want to ask someone for help, ask them for help. And if you've got a best friend that you think needs help, then you give them help, but don't interject in front of everyone's lives and tell them how they should and shouldn't be living. Don't do drugs. Yeah, thanks for all the support. UK's always been great to us, and hopefully we'll come back next time and you'll still be there, and you'll bring your friends. And maybe we'll see you at some festivals, maybe we won't, but thanks for the support. You guys have been great.